Well, it finally happened. Bitcoin smashed through another all-time high, soaring past $109,000, 0 cents. The analysts who called this months ago were spot on, and honestly, it's no surprise. The signs were all there, and the momentum was undeniable. But here's the kicker. We're not even seeing the typical top indicators that signal the end of a cycle. Everything pointed to this being the most likely outcome, and now it's here. Exciting? Absolutely. Still, what's really got me hyped is what this means for XRP and the rest of my altcoins, because let's be real, alt season is officially on deck. Get ready for a deep dive into insights from a variety of chart analysts, 8 XRP experts to be exact, breaking down market movements with commentary and analysis. They all seem to agree on one thing: the next big move is crystal clear. With Bitcoin hitting significant levels and confirming what we've been waiting for, the stage is set. What's next? Alt season, of course. Under these conditions, XRP is primed to shine. It's been the strongest performer in the top 100 coins by market cap since the election, even outpacing Bitcoin's gains. Sure, XRP has seen a small bump in the past 24 hours, but the real excitement hasn't even started. Once this beast begins its climb, we're talking face-melting price discovery, something we haven't seen for over 7 years. That's what we're all waiting for. It's coming. But before diving in, let me be upfront. I have zero financial credentials, none. I'm not here to give financial advice, and you definitely shouldn't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say. Now, with that out of the way, here's the exciting part. Nearly every XRP chart analyst I follow, seriously, almost 100% is predicting double-digit price action this cycle. Almost all of them. There are maybe 1 or 2 people I can think of who are bullish on XRP, believe it'll hit price discovery, but aren't quite ready to say it'll go beyond $10. That said, most analysts have set their sights higher, more in the range of $15, $20, $25, or even $30. The truth is, we'll see soon enough who's on the money. But here's the exciting part. Anywhere in that range has the potential to be life-changing for so many people listening right now. If it happens, it's going to be absolutely incredible to witness. Just a quick note, it's 6:06 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, as I'm recording this. XRP is sitting at $2, and Bitcoin is soaring at $108,853. But check this out. Today's 24-hour high is also the new all-time high, $109,470. Absolutely incredible. This is pure strength. Does that mean it won't pull back in the short term? Not necessarily. In fact, Tridental's Credible Crypto has some thoughts on that, which we'll dive into later. But here's the thing. If a pullback happens, don't panic. If by the time you're watching this, Bitcoin dips slightly below its all-time high, it's no big deal. That's just how markets move. And speaking of movement, check out this insight from on-chain analytics via Santiment. They point out that in the crypto world, FOMO often hints at what's next. As Bitcoin hit its $109,500, 0 cents high earlier today, the flood of positive chatter spiked, increasing the odds of a quick pullback. But if the greed chills out soon, $110,000 might just be around the corner. When fear takes over the market, that's often when opportunity knocks. It's a classic signal. When sentiment turns bearish, as it has over the last few months, it often marks the perfect time to act. Think of it as another accumulation phase. Take this insight from Raoul Pal, renowned chart analyst, former Goldman Sachs executive and CEO of Real Vision, and global macro investor. He's sounding the alarm on a key metric, global M2 money supply. And he's right. This metric is paving the way forward. Here's the breakdown. The black line represents global M2 with a 12-week lead time, and the pink line tracks Bitcoin's price. The correlation is undeniable. It's like a dance, moving in near perfect step. Coincidence? Hardly. There's a reason he's pointing this out. To clarify, the correlation holds true the vast majority of the time, though not a perfect 100%. If you examine the data over the past decade, you'll see the trend. Most of the time, the connection is clear and it makes sense. As global liquidity grows, there's more money in circulation, more for people, more for businesses. That money needs a home, and naturally, riskier assets like stocks and crypto start looking appealing. The capital flows in. It's a logical progression. People receive the liquidity, take a moment to decide where to allocate it, and ultimately risk-on assets like XRP benefit. With Bitcoin still catching up and consistently lagging behind global M2, which is continuing to rise, what comes next is almost obvious. The answer? prices go up. It's that simple. The next few months, if this trend keeps up, are going to be absolutely wild, life-changing even. I truly believe that. As he put it, maybe, just maybe, it really was this simple. Of course, no single metric tells the whole story. Short-term deviations can happen, which is why I always emphasize that while I love tracking global M2, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Deviations are part of the game, but if you consistently bet on the correlation holding true, you'll end up being right the vast majority of the time. That's exactly why I'm sticking to it. And on the rare occasions it doesn't hold, I'll just sit back and wait because sooner or later it will. Check out this post from chart analyst Tech Dev. It's a must see for anyone in crypto. He breaks down the key role of liquidity with a powerful visual, Bitcoin at the top, liquidity in the middle, and the business cycle at the bottom. His take, the most important chart in crypto shows Bitcoin peaks when the green line peaks. And guess what? We're still in the red zone, right before the breakout moment. TechDev nails it. Liquidity leads, Bitcoin follows. He shared this insight just before Bitcoin hit its all-time high. He posted this just before that point, right when Bitcoin was hitting its peak. It seems like it had already made a climb by then. After his post, Bitcoin dipped, then shot back up to even higher levels. Who knows, maybe it's climbed even more by the time you're watching this, but even if it hasn't, there's no reason to panic. We've seen this story play out before. Prices rise and then money floods into altcoins like wildfire. Here's an interesting take from the blockchain backer. He points out that even with Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, there's no sign of retail euphoria. Fascinating market dynamic, he says. And honestly, that's exactly what you want. When everyone's riding the wave of euphoria, that's your cue to pause and think, maybe it's time to be cautious. It's just one of many things to keep an eye on because, well, this phase never lasts forever. Bitcoin's hit another jaw-dropping all-time high and no one seems to care, but just wait. Wait until the headlines start screaming. That's when the retail FOMO kicks in. It's the same story every single time. Why would this time be any different? It's almost comical how these insane prices with XRP cruising past $2.00 feel like just another Tuesday. The excitement isn't even surprising anymore. It's just the new normal. Isn't this wild? These are the baseline levels now and things are about to get insane. Check out this post from Peter Brandt, a legendary chart analyst in the crypto world. He's famous for nailing the peak of Bitcoin's 2017 bull run and calling the bottom in December 2018 when Bitcoin hit around $3,200.00. With 796,000 followers hanging on his every word, his predictions carry weight. That said, he's got a serious case of XRP derangement syndrome. I can't take his XRP takes seriously, except to laugh at them. But when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm all ears. And guess what? He's just said how wonderful it is that Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs. I'm bullish. Honestly, hitting all-time highs isn't such a big deal. It's just what bull markets do. They're built to break records, and this one's looking strong, potentially aiming for $125,000 to $150,000 by the end of August. Could we really hit those numbers? Feels like a solid chance. But here's the kicker. If Bitcoin reaches the higher end of that range, imagine the tidal wave of money flowing into XRP. How could XRP not skyrocket into double digits? That's the real question. Meanwhile, chart analyst Tony Severino shared something intriguing. Bitcoin's quarterly chart just hit a perfected TD9 sell setup. The last time this happened, Q4 2017, the wildest, most bullish quarter in crypto history. Back then, Bitcoin soared over 350% from the candlestick open. If this setup plays out anything like that, expect a fast and furious rally that'll be over before you can blink. It seems the only way is up. But here's the thing, it's all going to happen fast, and many won't want to admit when it's actually over. When I start pointing out the warning signs saying, hey, watch out, we're hitting top signals, I'll probably get shouted down, labeled a clueless little boy. Those who react that way, they're the classic emotional retail traders chasing dreams without caution. Don't be one of them. Stay grounded, stay sharp. Check out this post from chart analyst Mustache on the Bitcoin USD chart. He's calling it Bitcoin's finally hitting a new all-time high. But remember, I've shown you in several charts that the cycle isn't done yet. The most exciting phase for crypto is still ahead. Stay prepared. The real spotlight in crypto, altcoins. That's what grabs most people's attention, right? At least for anyone who isn't one of those diehard Bitcoin maximalists. Here's a gem from chart analyst Crypto Wizard. A historic call. It's like deja vu. We're reliving history. Bitcoin is perfectly echoing the 2020 bull run, and the main rally still ahead. The best is yet to come, no doubt about it. Oh, and I recorded a video last night. My schedule's all over the place. Pretty sure it was around 2:30 a.m. So here's the thing. I was like, hey guys, heads up. I'm seeing a wave of analysts saying Bitcoin might hit a new all-time high soon. Now, not all analysts were on board, but enough of them were to really catch my attention. And most of these predictions were popping up just hours before I recorded that video, or at least a lot of them were. So I flagged it for you all and said, let's keep an eye on this. And guess what? It actually happened today. Crazy, right? Isn't it wild how often a consensus among certain analysts ends up being spot on? Now, I know it wasn't every analyst saying this, but honestly, that's what makes it so intriguing. When most of them align, it's almost like clockwork. Even so, watching a smaller group call it right is just as fascinating. If you follow the right people, you can get a decent sense of what's probable, or at least what's reasonably likely based on chart patterns. This is why I love diving into this stuff. It's like unlocking a code, and it never stops being fun. Keeping up with all these analyst perspectives takes time, but honestly, I love it. It's a labor of love, folks. Here's something interesting from Chart Animals Credible Crypto. Someone asked, hey, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, but just barely. Then it dropped. Should we be worried? His response, nope, nothing to worry about. He explained, we dipped below the prior all-time high and saw a quick rejection on lower timeframes. Two potential scenarios here. One, we've completed a 5-wave impulse off our $74,000 lows. Two, we're still riding an extended wave with the local invalidation point for that extension at $93,500. Both invalidation levels are clearly marked, and the most bullish extended wave scenario is in play. A pullback below $93,500 shouldn't be expected. If we so much as wick below that, it could signal the start of a larger, yet still bullish correction. That said, a dip below $100,000 to sweep the untapped local lows would actually be a healthy reset before pushing higher, if it happens. So he's staying calm. Even if prices drop further, no guarantees there. He's not losing sleep. Meanwhile, those who panicked when Bitcoin hovered around $74,000, they've been caught off guard again. This is the cycle. The crowd assumes they're right, only to be proven wrong time and time again. Chart Analyst Dom is back with an XRP update you won't want to miss. Bulls have held strong, defending the monthly and quarterly VWAP as support all week. Right now, XRP is testing the POC of the entire range since December. A crucial moment. The next big move, it all hinges on breaking the POC. And more importantly, the all-time high VWAP at $2.47, that green line on the chart. Dom believes a breakout is just around the corner. His morning analysis following Bitcoin's fresh all-time high suggests XRP could be gearing up for a major run. Think about it. Everything is aligning. The technicals, the macro picture, global liquidity. Does it really make sense for XRP to stall now? After consolidating for over 7 years, it's unlikely XRP came this far just to graze a new all-time high. All right, enough is enough. No, that's not what's happening here. The game's not over until the price discovery absolutely blows everyone's minds. That's when it ends. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. By ends, I mean for this cycle. It's not like XRP is disappearing into thin air. The market will eventually hit a top, as it always does. A few days ago, Bobby shared something that feels spot on right now, so let me bring it back. He said, XRP didn't spend 7 years building a massive triangle and accumulation base just to tap out at $3.00 and change. This is one of the clearest opportunities of the century, yet people will still find a way to mess it up. And he's right. Some folks will absolutely fumble this. Not me, though. Speaking of which, here's a post from chart analyst Steph is Crypto that really caught my eye. After Bitcoin's latest surge, he said, congrats to everyone holding XRP. You've just outlasted another massive bear trap. It's a win worth celebrating. Over the past few months, there have been some grumbles here and there, not a flood, but just enough to notice. While other crypto communities have been louder with complaints, the XRP crowd has stayed relatively calm. And it's no surprise, really. XRP has been the top performer since the election. Still, a few whispers popped up on social media recently, but nothing major. To those of you who stayed patient and didn't fall for the trap, hats off to you. You've made it. Here's an insight from chart analyst X-Force Global that nails it. Dumb money will start buying above $10.00, while smart money quietly sells into the strength. 7 years of XRP accumulation, and yet people act like they never had the chance to get it. All right, listen up and tread carefully. Let me say this loud and clear. I'll be shouting from the rooftops when the major signals show up. They aren't here yet, but when they do, I'll make sure everyone hears about it. You don't want to be blindsided when that moment comes. The potential here is massive. I've heard countless stories from people who learned the hard way. They had life-changing opportunities, seven-figure gains within reach, but they hesitated. They thought the market would climb higher, held on too long, and then watched it all crash. An 80% drop wiped out their shot at wealth. Sure, markets tend to recover, but here's the catch. Recovery takes years. And there's no guarantee everything will bounce back the same. Asset classes evolve and historical patterns can shift. Don't let greed or hesitation steal your chance. Be smart, be ready, and don't wait for history to teach you the hard lesson. Here's an update from Crypto Insight UK pointing out an interesting move on the XRP/ETH chart. He's keeping a close eye on it, and honestly, it feels like just a matter of time before XRP takes the spotlight and leaves Ethereum in the dust. I've been saying this for ages. Sure. Ethereum had its moment recently. It was lagging hard, stuck around $1,400.00, and now it's bounced back to about $2,600.00. No surprise there. It was clearly oversold. I'm not a chart guy, but come on, that rebound was written all over the walls. It's caught up, it's had its run, but let's not forget the bigger picture. When this cycle wraps up, XRP is going to blow past Ethereum, no contest. The opportunity here is massive, so obvious, it's almost laughable. And hey, I'm not the only one saying it. Chart analyst Cryptolica chimed in this morning, doubling down on his prediction. XRP could hit $9.00 to $10.00. We're far from finished, folks. Here's what's catching my eye from analysts lately. First up, chart expert C. Greg Crypto weighed in, noting that XRP is holding strong. This was earlier today before Bitcoin hit its new all-time high. He's confident we'll revisit those all-time high levels soon. Optimism feels justified, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about Rakesh Upadhyay's take over at Cointelegraph. He pointed out that XRP is stuck in a fierce tug of war between buyers and sellers around the 20-day EMA of $2.35. With the 20-day EMA flatlining and RSI hovering near neutral, the market seems undecided. No clear upper hand for bulls or bears yet. If XRP drops below the 20-day EMA, the XRP USDT pair might hover between $2.00 and $2.65 for a bit. But if it bounces sharply from the 20-day EMA and breaks above $2.65, the bulls could take charge. In that case, we might see a rally to $3.00 and potentially $3.40, marking the all-time high, where sellers are likely to put up a strong fight. This is where things get interesting. Even if Bitcoin experiences a short-term pullback, and that's a big if, the overall trajectory remains upward. A final parabolic surge is on the horizon, and XRP is primed to follow. History doesn't just repeat, it rhymes. Just look at the fresh all-time highs being hit as we speak, $109,507.00. Oh, wait, now it's $109,529.00. You gotta love seeing this momentum. Who knows, by the time you're reading this, it might be even higher. I can't claim to predict short-term moves, but I'm just so grateful I discovered crypto when I did. It's been absolutely life-changing. Moments like this are what make the journey so exciting. Seriously, this is incredible. I'm thrilled for Bitcoin, sure, but what really excites me is what this validates for altcoins. It's proof that what I've been waiting for, real price discovery, is unfolding. XRP hitting a new all-time high, that's huge. Could $110,000.00 be on the horizon? Feels like it's only a matter of time. Just look at this. I hope you're all enjoying this ride as much as I am. You've got to have fun with this. It's moments like these that make it all worth it. It's always a thrill when you've got skin in the game and that unshakable belief that the crypto pie is only going to keep growing. Check this out. $109,589.00. Boom. Riddlers, $589.00. Nailed it. All right, I'm wrapping it up here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Having fun yet? Because I sure am. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't buy or sell anything based on what I say or write. Seriously, that would be a very, very bad idea.